Hello, both sides of the conversation family. We welcome you to this virtual space crafted especially for you. My name is Jada Curry, and I'm both sides of the conversation's marketing director and graphics design specialist. I want to take some time to ground us all as a community into this space we are about to open up in, so let's go through our community standards. Both sides of the conversation is providing a safe and honest space for open conversation, so we ask that you all be respectful of that. We also ask that you be respectful of each panelist, host, and participant. We do encourage healthy debates and conversations. Don't personalize anything with anyone. This includes name-calling, bullying, trolling, or shaming. This will not be allowed or tolerated. Your perspective is yours. It is not a prescription. You do not have to agree, but show respect. These community standards apply to all of our live shows and any virtual spaces that we hold on social media, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We want to make sure that we are caring for each other as a community. This is our priority in all of our endeavors as both sides of the conversation. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's show and continue to stay in touch with us via YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or all of them. All right, thank you for listening and see you soon.
Welcome, everybody, to Both Sides of the Conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today, I have co-hosted with me, Tony Rochelle. Tonight is our Hidden Gem segment. We are excited because we have our youth, the phenomenal graduates of class of 2022. So I'm excited to have our young folks on. I know it's been a couple of days since y'all seen us live. We've been going through the holidays, the Warriors, COVID. We've been dealing with a lot. So I know y'all been seeing some of the programming changes. But again, we are here. We are kicking off this second run as we get through this last short summer holiday before Labor Day. But I want to make a couple announcements, and then I'm going to turn it over to Tony, and she's going to go over some of the news and some of the events and things that's taking place for both sides of the conversation. Very important stuff. You know, this weekend has been another tragic weekend in America with another mass shooting. Also, we've had a number of shootings here in the Bay Area. Also, a good friend of mine was gunned down this past weekend. So just want to give out a condolences to his family, to all the families who lost their loved ones. It's been a tragic weekend. There was a number of water deaths that took place this weekend. We had some auto boat accidents. We also had some young folks from Oakland who drowned out in the Delta. That's a tragic weekend. And with that being said, just want to say to community as we're going through these last, months of summer, and I know a lot of folks are getting on the water. A lot of us that lives in the inner city is not always have access to the waterways as frequently. So just again, encouraging our folks in the community to make sure before you go out on the water, you definitely do some safety training, do some reviews. If you haven't been on the water in a while, go over some of the boating policies and just understand when you're out on the water, it's very dangerous. I know a lot of times folks are drinking, partying, not paying attention. And when you're out on that water, things could change rapidly. The currents and riptides that we have here in the Bay Area is very, very treacherous. And you could get down in certain parts of these waterways and they can pull you under so quick. So please have on your safety equipment, be aware out there. And again, if you haven't been swimming in large lakes and pools in a while, just be mindful. I know a lot of us, we swim in indoor pools and we go out on these boats and we jump out in the water and we're like, hey, I can swim. And a lot of times you can swim, but again, there's a different swim when you're dealing with tides and change of currents and things of that nature. So just want to remind our folks to be safe, especially our folks with boats, jet skis, and things of that nature. Be mindful of the currents as those tides and things can change at any given time. So my condolences out to those families. Again, there's a lot of tragedy that's happening here in the Bay Area. There's a number of shootings that take place in Oakland, San Francisco, throughout the Bay Area this weekend in Vallejo. So again, we got a lot of work to do, community, when it comes to gun violence, when it comes to how we engage with each other in our communities. We just got to continue to put in that work. And again, it takes the effort of the community to make that change. Also, I want to talk about the drought. The drought is real, as you all are seeing across the state of California. A number of state counties have now been enforcing water restrictions. So please tap into your local city and just make sure that you are following guidelines on the water. As you all know, we had a short rainfall, a short snow season, and the water rationing is looking like it's going to come upon us here shortly, as we already dealing with gas inflation, a number of things. But with the water shortage, okay, this can really impact our community, especially our elders, folks who depend on water. If we're not mindful of our water usage and they begin to cut back on our water services, it could impact our community tremendously. So make sure when you're washing your car, you're bathing, different things, just be mindful of your water usage and know that we do have a shortage here. And, that extra running of water could impact other folks in our community. Just something to be mindful in. Also, there was a number of wildfires. Every 4th of July season, we know our young folks and people in the community are popping fireworks because of the dry season and the lack of water. A lot of our hillways and a lot of our loose grass, a lot of those caught on fire this weekend. So I know people are still having their leftover fireworks. Be careful out there. Be safe because, again, we don't want fires, as these fires can impact not only communities, people, homes, and things of that nature. Also, wanted to go over some of the things that we're doing here at both sides of the conversation. We have a number of events that's going to be taking place. We're going to be taking about 30 young folks up to the Sacramento Raceway to go support 2 drag racers from San Francisco. We're taking about 30 kids. If you have young folks from San Francisco or are in the East Bay that would like to go to the event, please reach out to me. I'm also looking for about 5 to 8 dads. Because we didn't do anything for Father's Day, we want to support a couple of fathers. If you are a father out there and you have kids and you might be financially strapped or don't have the discretionary funds right now due to the inflation costs, please reach out to us at info@bsotc, and we'll be able to support you. If you want to bring your kids out to an event, we'll cover the cost for the entire event for you, gas, entry fees, and food. But about 8 folks is what we're looking for. So any dads out there, reach out to us. We want to help support the community. Also, we have enough space for a couple of kids. If you have a young person that would like to go to this event, it's an all-day event, probably 10 a.m. to about 7, 8 o'clock at night. Reach out to us. We have a few spots and we can support a couple of young folks in the community about this narrative shift. We want to take our young folks out of the community. It is sad when we run into young folks who haven't never been to Sacramento, never left San Francisco or left the Bay Area. We want to give them an opportunity to get out, get away from their community, get away from their neighborhoods, go check out something cool, see something that's positive, something that's legal, and give them some other ideals, interacting with some other folks, and they can learn some different things. So we are excited about that. Reach out to us at info@bsotc. We already have a number of community partners that are partnering with us: Mo Magic, Collective Impact, Booker T. Washington, and the Brown Bombers. So shout out to those folks, just always trying to figure a way to get our young people out of the community and getting them to see something positive that helps impact the community. Also, as we going through the summer months, we are still having our youth conversation. We are trying to get more teenagers to be a part of this youth conversation that we're going to be having on Sundays. So if you have a young person out there that would like to be a part of the youth conversation, please reach out to us at info@bsotc. This is the time. We want to hear from our young people. These mass shootings, different things that's taking place across the country in our communities. We want to get our perspective from our young folks. We always want to make sure that our young folks are empowered and they feel that their voices are being heard and uplifted. And we also want to make sure that we are curtailing our programs for our young people so that they feel important and supported throughout the process. Again, we have a number of shows that are going to be coming up this Sunday. We're going to have more graduates coming on, and we're just excited to be a part of the Dreamkeeper Initiative and to be able to listen to these young folks' stories and also be able to empower them with a stipend as they're going off onto their journeys. And again, we always want to make sure that our young folks have support so that they can keep their mind on the right decisions and decisions that they are making. So again, tragedy this weekend. It was difficult yesterday to just, really celebrate and be out with community, just knowing all of the tragedy that's taking place. Again, we all have to do our part to stop these shootings. And it's just sad that we can't go out as community and just enjoy as these events keep taking on and on across our country. And I've been trying to work on my smoker. So if y'all see me moving around, I got a new Traeger. So I'm out here trying to get these pellet. I never pellet barbecue. So I'm excited to put some food on the grill. But that's what I'll be doing in between time. But with that being said, I want to go ahead and bring up our co-host. As you all see, Tony Rochelle is stepping in, doing more. Y'all going to see more of her, less of me, as that is the hope. And we have some other amazing folks that are going to be taking off a lot of these shows to keep it moving forward as we, both sides of the conversation, continue to move in our community and do more live events, more things. And Tony and the rest of the team, we just appreciate them because they're stepping in and they'll be holding down some of these conversations, holding down some of these shows, as I'll be maneuvering through the community for some of these community events and some of the obligations that I have to keep our organization moving forward. So with that being said, thank you all. And Tony, go ahead and come on board and holler at the people, Tony.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
There we go. Hi, everybody. Hi, both sides of the conversation family. I'm Tony Rochelle. I'm your co-host. And today I have the world announcements. Thank you, John, for the local announcements. But as we know, there's a lot going on in the world. 4th of July parade shooting in Highland Park. A mass shooting took place during an Independence Day parade in Highland Park, Illinois, where 7 people were killed and more than 40 people were wounded. After an 8-hour manhunt on Monday, police arrested 21-year-old Robert Bobby Kimo III for the mass shooting. First-degree murder charges were filed against him, and he was expected to appear in court on Wednesday, according to CBS Chicago News. That's so sad, but I'm so grateful that they were able to find him. And then, as John was talking about the fires, California explosive wildfires, an explosive wildfire that erupted in California on 4th of July as well, more than double in the size of overnight, quickly consuming more than 3,000 acres by Tuesday morning. The fast-moving electric fire burning through the dreaded grasses and steep rugged of East Sacramento has forced hundreds of evacuations and continued to pose threats to critical power infection, according to officials with the California Department of Forest and Fire Protection. CAL FIRE, what caused the blaze, which ignited in the afternoon and is still under investigation. But officials said that fireworks or barbecues could be a possibility. Your boy Sean P. Diddy Combs pledged to donate $2 million to both Howard University and Jackson State University. The multimillionaire and award-winning hip-hop icon was awarded at the BET Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards. While accepting his award, he pledged to donate a total of $2 million to both Howard University and Jackson State University, according to blackexperience.com. So thank you, Diddy, for that. For our community events, we have our Youth First Family Day, which will have food and music and activities and more. That's going to take place on July 8th at 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And that's going to be held in San Francisco, and we'll put that on the screen for you so you can get more information regarding that. And we still have our Alive and Free Friends Barbecue celebration, 35 years alive and free, which takes place Saturday, August the 6th at 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And that will be in Castro Valley Community Park. And we'll be sure to get the address on the screen up there for you. Invest in Black and Youth comedy show and award show, which is August the 13th. Tickets are sale on Eventbrite. And then we have our Camp Matrix High. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. It's a teen outdoor experience. It's going to take place on August the 25th or the 28th. And for more information, and for more information, we will have the number up there for you. And if anything that you missed that I shared with you, all of this is on our website and our event page, and you will be able to check out all of this. So that's it for our world announcements. As always, we're always looking for volunteers. Our work inspires. If it inspires you and it makes you feel good, please come and join our community. We're always looking for volunteers, and you can go on our website to check out more information regarding it. Thank you, family.
Thank you, Tony, for those updates. Again, great events coming out. More is coming out as we kick off the summer. I know there's been a lot going on in the OMI, taking kids of Great America, different things. As those events come through to us, we'll make sure that we get them out to the community as well as any both sides of the conversation events. Also, we are still looking for hidden gems. So if you have a business or you know someone to have a Black business, please have them go to our website and sign up for our hidden gem show under the Join Our Show, as well as our educational Thursdays. We are still looking for folks who would like to come on and do a digital presentation to help educate our community. It is always a blessing when different folks from different professional backgrounds come on and educate our community. We've had a number of great educational Thursdays, and we want to expand and we want to tap into some of the other stuff like folks in tech, folks in music, different things of that nature. So please come on and do a PowerPoint presentation. And then our Sunday conversations, after we start getting through the rest of our graduates for 2022, we have a host of Sunday conversation that's going to be coming up. Also, we're going to have a Sunday conversation with the women of both sides of the conversation. So for all y'all fellas out there, they're going to have their own conversation. You'll see all the ladies from both sides of the conversation this summer. They'll be having a couple of segments where they'll be talking about different things that impact Black women, Black community. So we're looking forward to that, and we'll be getting that information out to community as well. Also, if you like to support us financially, you can still support us through our Amazon Smile. If you sign up on Amazon Smile and choose both sides of the conversation as one of your charitable organizations, 0.5% of your purchases will come to both sides of the conversation. No extra charge to you. So we are looking forward to that as well. With that being said, that is all of our announcements. Tony, we're going to go ahead and bring up our first amazing class of 2022 graduate, Brother Curtis. We're going to bring him up and let him talk to the community about his experience going through school. How was it, the challenges and all of that. Go ahead, Brother Curtis. Tell the people who you are, your school, your grade you graduated from, and where you're going and all that good stuff, good brother.
Okay, my name is Curtis Jones. I went to Archbishop Reardon High School, and I am the class of 2022. So basically, my high school experience, my high school experience was basically fun. You know, it started off with all the fun and stuff, but I didn't really, I had trouble in a classroom for real. I didn't really take school serious. But as time went on, I started to get to learn that I need to take school serious and stuff. And then as time went on, some challenges that I went through was going through deaths in my family, you know, and before the pandemic, the year before the pandemic, it was a lot of deaths. And then the pandemic happened. And in 2022, I had about like 9 to 10 deaths in my family. So that kind of messed me up in the head. But then I had talks with my mom to kind of help me go through stuff like that. And then my grades were falling during the pandemic time. I became a little lazy, lackadaisical. But then, you know, talks with my mom really helped, and praying to God kind of helped me go through stuff like that and still get good grades. But the thing that benefited with the pandemic stuff was the teachers were more lenient and stuff. But so that kind of helped me like keep my grades cool. But other than that, like if it wasn't for that though, my grades I'd have been failing school and stuff. And then another challenge was the pandemic kind of messed up stuff I had going on with football. And you know, that's what I wanted to really go to college, get a scholarship, and go to football and play football. I did D1 college, but the pandemic ended up happening, and I had a lot of camps that I was going to, and it kind of messed it all up. And then during the pandemic, I was feeling kind of depressed too. I gained a lot of weight, wasn't really feeling right, didn't like how I looked and stuff. But then I end up like and then football ended up like coming back, and then I started getting me back in shape and like making me start work out again, get my mind right, get my grades straight and stuff. And then another thing is yeah.
That's all right. We'll come back to it. We'll stop you right there because I think you've said a mouthful that I think we definitely need to touch on. One of the things that you said that I thought was very powerful, dealing with family deaths and dealing with the loss of a loved one is very challenging. And when you said that you was going through a lot of emotions and things, how did that play out? Because I know sometimes, did you ever have doubt in your mind that you might want to quit, or did you ever go through, sometimes you lose somebody real close and you just like, I give up, this is it. How did you overcome that? Because I think death, especially when you lose someone close to you, is very hard to overcome. So how did you overcome that? How did you process that, and how did you overcome it?
Well, so basically I have a very like Christian mom, so she really helped me with most of the stuff, because if it was really for me, I don't even think that I would be playing football. I think I'd just be still depressed and wouldn't even I really don't know where I would be at without my mom's and without God too, praying and stuff. But I just stayed strong, just kept on doing what I was doing, and really just prayed. That's what really helped me go through everything. And I lost like one of my favorite aunties, and she was like she went to church, and she had a very good relationship with God. So it was like, what would she want me to do? And I was like, she wouldn't want me to quit. So that's another reason that made me want to go harder and be on my stuff and work out and all that for that football stuff and stuff.
Wow, that's very powerful, man. I mean, to go through that type of loss and still have, that grind and dig deep for your auntie, man. I know she's looking down, very proud on you. I know your mom is very proud of you. I know your father and family are. During that COVID time, Tony, you could jump in anytime you want to, but during that COVID time, I always tell the folks in the community that, I never been through that, right? So I always give you young folks a definitely extra praise because I never been through that. I know most people that didn't go through this time period never understood that. But for you to be able to learn on Zoom through a computer, how difficult was it to take what the teacher was saying and not being able to be in front of a chalkboard and having that step by step and then having that access to your teachers? How challenging was that, or were you able to maneuver? I know some kids, they didn't like it. They thought it was just, a terrible thing. But how was it for you? And when it comes to learning that way, was that an effective learning method for you, or was it really a challenge for you?
So during the Zoom thing, it was so easy to just not do nothing, because at my school, some teachers didn't really like ask you to have your camera on. You didn't really have to participate. So it was like so tempting. You're in your bed. So it was like most people would like go to sleep during class. Like I have done that plenty of times. Went to sleep during class and stuff. Didn't really pay attention, and I didn't really learn too much during COVID, or like during the little online process. Like I just felt like everything was just like the same. Like everything was just backwards. Like the teachers wasn't really teaching like they wanted to. Like it just killed everything. That's why I really liked to be in person, because it's like I can communicate with my teachers more, and then everything was just way easier. But it was easy to get good grades though, because like I said, they was like a little chill with the turning in homework late and stuff. So that was really the only good part about it. But other than that though, not really. I didn't really like it that much.
Wow, very interesting. I always like to listen to the young folks' perspective on that because I had like a very, wide way when I was talking to young folks throughout the year during the pandemic. We had a bunch of young folks come on our show, and it was always trying to kind of interested to find out what their perspective was. But during that time, I know there was challenges. Were you impacted by the digital divide? A lot of young folks said they struggle with Wi-Fi access. Did you have the computer information that you needed? Did you have a computer? Did you have good Wi-Fi, or were you in one of those areas where it was like hard to log in? You kept getting kicked out. Did y'all have any Zoom bombing going on, or was it straightforward all the way through?
Nah, we ain't had no Zoom bombing, but I live on a hill in the Bayview, so the Wi-Fi is kind of trash over here. So I did have times where it was like I couldn't log in, and it was just kind of bad missing some classes because I can't log in. And then sometimes the Wi-Fi would go out. Sometimes it was terrible. I can't lie. Sometimes it was.
So before we let you go, I'll let Tony ask you a question if she had one, but let the community know, leading up, right? As you started getting to May, right? You about to walk the stage. Kind of, walk the community through that process as you finding out that you're completed, you're getting ready for the graduation ceremony, your family, like what was that feeling like? What did you feel? Like, did you feel like, man, this is over? Or do you feel like I still got more work to do? Like, walk us through that. What was that like for you?
I definitely felt I'm glad it's finally over. Like, because in the beginning of the quarter of this year, a lot of my family had COVID and stuff. So I sat out of school for like 2 months from having COVID, like me and my family around me. So I wasn't able to go to school. So I was really behind. So like the month of like March and April, I really wanted to just give up, but I was like, I need to graduate, and my mom would be like highly upset at me if I didn't. So I took like the month of May or the end of April and the month of May to really grind and finally just say like it's over. And I was really happy when I got all my work done, have my little grades straight, make sure I was passing, and it felt real good. But I still gotta go back to school, unfortunately. So
yeah, definitely. Tony, you want to ask anything?
Hi, Curtis.
Hello.
I just want to say first, sorry for your loss, and you're very strong to keep ascending because that's what you did. So I'm proud of you for that. And shout out to your mama for introducing you to God and you keeping it installed in your life. So I'm proud of you for that. But what are you having any challenges right now as far as moving forward to the next step in your growth with education?
Challenges right now, not really. I wouldn't really say I'm having.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. And what's your plans right now next? You already graduated? Are you going to graduate? You already graduated, right? So what's the next step for you?
So for the next step for me is I'm gonna be going to a JUCO for the next couple of years because I played football. I could have went if I didn't play football, I could have went to other 4 years, but it's like the money problem. But I'm gonna be most likely studying business and like entrepreneurship. Probably might get into like a clothing brand or something. I'm still thinking about that. But I'm really gonna be playing football though at City College for the next couple of years. Try to give me an offer and go D1 to the NFL. If that
I'm rooting for you. You make sure you tell us when your game's is so we can try to come and support you. Just because you here now, you family now, so we want to keep up with you when you go far and far. So
okay, for sure.
No, definitely. Hey, Young King, hey, we proud of you. And also there's a number of people in the community that support you and behind you. And one of those folks and one of those community organizations, and we're one of those, but also, because we're part of the Dreamkeeper Initiative, I don't know if you know about the Dreamkeeper Initiative, that was put together by Mayor London Breed, the board president of San Francisco, Shaman Walton, and Dr. Director Davis of the Human Rights Commission. Part of this narrative shift, man, is about supporting our young folks. And because y'all have done a phenomenal job, continue to walk through the passageways and overcome the obstacles and walk across that stage, we're going to have definitely a gift card for you after this segment. So that's all Curtis of the Dreamkeeper Initiative, man. So we just proud of you. We're here to support you all and just keep pushing through, man. And let us know when you get situated with your games, like Tony said. And definitely we'll do our part to either stream a game, come support you and follow you, make sure our community know that's you out there on the field doing your thing. So proud of you. Hang in there, and we'll bring you back up here in a second. We'll bring up some of the other classmates here, and then we'll bring y'all all up at the end. But hang in there, good brother.
All right, thank you,
Curtis.
Right on, Curtis. Stay up, brother. All right, powerful stuff. As you all see, that's what this is about, right? Changing the narrative, right? So many times our young African American males, females, get this narrative stereotype that they don't complete school, they give up, they quit. That young brother right there, overcoming loss of family, dealing with COVID, the obstacle of Zoom school, still put it together through all of the challenges and was able to walk across that stage and uplift his family, his community, and now he's on to bigger and better things, and we're going to be here to support him as well. So we're excited about that. Next up, we got Miss Amaya Williams. We're going to bring up Miss Amaya Williams, talk about her experience in school, let community know what's going on with you, Amaya. Good to see you again.
Hi, I'm good right now. I'm in school, of course, but I would say before COVID, school was pretty easy for me, and then during COVID, school did get really hard. It was really hard for me to get out my bed. I wasn't motivated at all because I was at home, so most of the time I would just be in my bed, turn on my Zoom. I didn't have to turn on my cameras or anything. So yeah, my GPA did drop bad. It was bad, and I wasn't even supposed to cheer, but since, like Curtis said, most teachers were very lenient during COVID, I was able to cheer because the school wasn't really thinking about GPAs because of COVID. They were more so worried about the health of the students and everything. So, and they just wanted people to interact with each other and have fun. So yeah, that's what I really did.
So how'd you get back on the right track after you were going through
So being on Zoom for hours of the day, I switched. So instead of for Zoom calls, I was on Zoom for from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. I was saying that was crazy. I couldn't do it. I was no. So I ended up switching to independent studies. And when I switched to independent studies, that helped a lot because I went from having 6 classes to 3 classes. And then I was only meeting on Zoom once a week, for each class. So I only have class once a day for an hour on Zoom. Kind of like a college-based schedule, I would say. So that helped me a lot. And once I moved to independent studies, my GPA went back up.
And I know we know you, but for the people, you graduated and you're in college now, right?
Yeah.
Would you care to share us what college you go to?
Yeah, so currently right now I'm in pre-college at Hampton University. My major is entrepreneurship, and yeah, I will be attending in the fall also after pre-college.
What kind of advice could you give to someone that's trying to get their grades back up and succeed with high school right now?
Personally, from my experience, I did take a lot of college classes, a couple college classes during my high school, and I would say do dual enrollment because it's a win-win. In the end, you'll see I took these classes, for example, I took these classes at City College now. I don't have to take them in college, and so that would be less money on your parents or you, whoever's paying for college. It'll be way more less money on you, so you won't have to take all those classes. And it will also get you a head start if you do plan on going to college, because dual enrollment classes are free for high school students throughout the Bay Area.
Amaya, who was your biggest motivator getting you through school while you were going through all of this?
I'd say my mom and my granny. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be in college.
What they say to you, girl? What they tell you? What they tell you to do?
Nothing. They really didn't have to push me because I just wanted to make them proud, honestly. And so I am the first, out of all my cousins and stuff, I am the first person in my family to go off to college.
Woo! Breaking generational curses. Yes, baby.
So I gotta take it back about the grades. When your grades was dropping and you were struggling, was it the Zoom school? Was it like you was going through stuff? Is it depression, or was you like, what was it? Like, was it that, or was it just like your lack of interest?
It was a lot of things. So I did go through a depression during COVID. Me and my mom, she's a Taurus and I'm an Aries, so like, you know, our signs are right there, and it's just us in the household. So we was getting into it a lot during COVID because we wasn't used to being in the house with each other 24/7, and so that was that. But I did get depressed because it's like I'm a people person. I'm very like assertive and like sociable, I'll say. And so I was so used to always being around people, talking to people, meeting new people. So for me, that like made me like depressed, I would say, because like I was in the house, I was bored. Like I really didn't like, I wasn't able to do nothing and interact with my peers. So.
So one of the questions I wanted to ask, because I think this is a very important question, and I know that you acknowledge your depression. A lot of times with our young people, our high school kids, as adults, just people in the community, sometimes we don't really pay attention to young people and their mental health. So I really appreciate you, speaking to that, because I think that is something that we need to speak about more. And just to hear you talk about, some of those things and being able to identify what that is. But just, now that you out back moving around and just, going through the course of your high school, how much would you say mental health, depression, or anxiety and different things of that nature impact young people in the school? Is it fair to say that there's a lot of kids who are, deal with that, or is it a small, isolated amount of folks?
I would say a lot of people do deal with mental health issues, and people in the Black community like don't want to get help. They think talking to a therapist is wrong, and I feel like it's right. It's okay to talk to someone. I'm very like team mental health and go see a therapist, and it's nothing wrong with it. Talking to people about your problems is totally normal, and so I feel like if anyone out there is going through something, whether it's you're a teen or adult, we all have mental health issues, and you guys should want to go get help regardless, like what you think people might say. You don't always have to confide in people saying, oh, yeah, I see a therapist. Sometimes it's not people's business, but therapy does help.
Now, is it fair to say that, those type of support services are readily available in high school, or do you feel like that's something that needs to be added into the school? Because I always ask young people that, how many therapists are in the school? Because, when we have these mass shootings and things happening in different communities, especially when, in high school, so many young folks deal with violence. There's not enough grief counselors, but in some of the other suburban areas, if something happened, a young person get killed, they have all type of services. But in the Black community, it doesn't seem like there's a lot. Would you say there's enough services in our school districts, or you feel like that there's more of a need for more therapy and resources like that, grief counseling for the young folks, for the stuff we deal with in the Black community?
I would say that in our school districts, like around the Bay Area, it's not a lot of help like for therapists, especially if you go to like a private school or a public school. It's not like a lot of people who you can go to for help. Like I went to Berkeley High, and Berkeley High is a very liberal school and big on mental health. But even though my school was big on mental health, it wasn't a lot of people who were there to help mentally. Even though they said it really wasn't. It was really hard to get appointments, even if you needed a therapist.
Amaya, do you and your friends talk about mental health, and specifically during the pandemic? I know you say you were feeling like this, and Curtis came on and he said he was feeling like this. Did y'all ever like get together and say how y'all all was feeling expressively?
Yeah, me and my friends do talk about mental health. That's like a big topic with like all of us. And I would say we did talk about it a lot. And we did try to like see each other often, but like in an outside setting, like during COVID.
Yeah.
But
I just wondered
I
if
would
a lot
say,
of young people talked about the mental health within each other.
yeah, I would say men though, they don't really talk about mental health like versus like girls and women. Like they wouldn't really talk about it.
Wow, deep. And then how many people would you say was a large number of young ladies who didn't make it or did make it through with teen pregnancy? I was reading this article today and it was talking about teen pregnancy and how over the pandemic it impacted so many young people. Did you know a lot of your friends or did you see teen pregnancy as a big issue at your school or around the folks you knew, or was that something that didn't impact you as much?
Yes, I do know a lot of people who did end up pregnant because of the pandemic. And I would say it did impact my generation a whole lot more than others. Like, I have a couple of friends who did end up pregnant during the pandemic.
Wow. Wow, very powerful stuff. Glad you weren't impacted by that. But yeah, I was reading this article. It's very tremendous news of how many young folks teen pregnancy was on the rise, and pretty interesting stuff. But very proud of your success and the things that you're doing. I got to connect you with Siobhan Hunter when you go to Hampton. I told your mom I got to connect you. She's a powerful young lady. She's in Hampton. She was one of the BSU presidents. But I'm gonna connect y'all. So when you get down there, you got some cool Berrien folks that
I'm
could just
here right
walk.
now.
Yeah,
She,
I'm at the.
she
Huh?
like, she like, give me the number now. I'm
Yeah,
here right now.
I'm gonna have to connect. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna have to let me pull up my phone number and see if I have her contact. I know I got her mom contact. I'm gonna connect y'all. But yeah, I'm gonna connect y'all. Very important stuff. Because I think you are very powerful, and I think she is a very powerful young lady, and she is just like I'll get the number for whatever reason. I got her mom number. But I'll get her number, connect y'all. But she's doing a lot of stuff. She's very politically driven. She's about Black unity. And I know as she started to maneuver this is her second year at Hampton. I know she's doing some powerful stuff because she's just one of those folks that like to get involved and make change. So definitely I want to connect the two of y'all so that y'all can connect and do some stuff down there. It's always very important for young folks to be the change makers. And this narrative shift that we're talking about, it starts with young folks like you, Curtis, and Dominique. That's gonna be coming up because again, we need to keep marching, our culture forward, and that's why we're proud of y'all, and that's why the folks behind the Dream Keeper believe in the young folks, and we want to make sure that you all are supported. And we're going to do our part here at both sides of the conversation to make sure that whatever we can do to support y'all young folks, don't forget about us when y'all get out to school. Reach out to us. Seriously, I got a couple of kids who reached out from me that went to 100% college prep. And I was able to support them and help them, because you never know. You start off, you're like, everything is fine. And then you're like, man, I need something. And that's where we want to be there to help support our youth, to let you all know that one, community is behind you, community organizations are behind you. And we got folks in our city departments that believe in our young folks and believe in the future. And we want to make sure y'all have what y'all need. So again, thank you. For your tremendous efforts of continuing to fight through the pandemic, the trials and tribulations, overcoming and walking across that stage for your mom and your grandmother. I know they're very proud of you, the rest of your family. I just think that that's important. So salute to you. And we're just looking forward to seeing what you all do in the future. And I'm looking forward to having you back for one of our Youth Sunday conversations too. All right, so just hang in there. We're gonna bring up the last hidden gem, and then we'll bring all y'all up before we close out tonight. All right.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Y'all see that, man? Powerful stuff from the young lady. Young folks talking about mental health. A lot of time, adults in the community say our young folks are not tapped in with mental health. They don't understand what's going on when it comes to mental health. As you can see, Amaya talked about what her and her friends were doing, talking about mental health, going through those processes. They identified what it is, and they were able to find their means to get through it. And again, it seems to be a need for mental health counseling and support in our schools so that our young folks who deal with grief, deal with things that impact them, that they can have access to those services. With that being said, we're going to bring up our last hidden gem. We had 2 other hidden gems that couldn't make it last minute. We're going to move them probably to Sunday and hear them. But our last hidden gem, class of 22 graduate, this young brother, powerful, phenomenal young man, Brother Dominique Cummins, come over here and talk to the people about your journey through school, high school, through the pandemic, and all the way up to that point, walking across the stage. And I seen you at Kezar at the Black graduation, excited, your family excited. Beautiful, beautiful way to end the year. But go ahead and talk to the people about, some of the things that you faced and what was that, that marathon was like to get to that graduation point.
All right, yeah. Starting off in ninth grade, it was pretty easy, pretty chill. Teachers, whatever. And then 10th grade hit, I stopped like caring a little bit. Like I'm gonna get through this easily. And then the pandemic hit. It was like I'm just going to class. I'm turning on the computer, uh, going back to sleep, playing a game or whatever. And my grades started dropping. It wasn't until my mom really told me like, get back on your stuff or you ain't gonna get this or that. I'm a shoe head. I like shoes and clothes. So she like, I'm gonna stop getting you shoes if you ain't handling your business. So it wasn't until she had to really show me that. And I got back on it. 11th grade, still going on. And yeah, it wasn't really till 12th grade going back to school in person where my grades picked up so I could go off to college and stuff. But uh, overall, the pandemic hit really hard for basketball players or sports players and all. But yeah, that's about it.
Man, very dope. So Dominique, that's powerful, man. When you was going through that transition and sometime as a young man, you go through that point where you go through that cool stage. You go through that stage of like, I want to do the right thing. What was
Yeah.
some of the things that, propelled you into staying focused and staying on the right track? Was it somebody you idolized? Was it somebody that you modeled after? Or was it just you overcoming knowing that, hey, I'm worth more than this and I got to do it?
Growing up, I've always been a leader. I never really been a follower. So, all your friends or whatever, not caring. I'm always been different. I'm not gonna follow what you doing. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna do the right thing and do what's best for me to help better my future and live life.
Man,
So
it's
yeah,
power dope.
it was just really what I'm used to and what my mom always tells me.
Now, during the pandemic, when you was doing the Zoom schooling and stuff, how much of a challenge was that for you? I know a lot of people had different perspectives on it. How was it for you? Were you able to receive the assignments when you needed help because you was on Zoom? Do you feel like you was able to get the adequate teaching during that time? Sometimes some kids need to sit on the chalkboard, but being on Zoom, were you able to still process the information, or was Zoom school pretty straight? Because some kids like it was cool for them. How did it impact you?
It was cool for the most part, but it was really me not wanting to do the work. Like I could do it, I could sit there and do it. It's just me not paying attention. But yeah, I did the work, but I wasn't really paying attention. I like that. I'm gonna keep it 100.
So do
what
you?
did you
Oh, go ahead, Tony.
so so what did you have to do to get caught up? Did they give you extra work to do, or did they give you more time to turn in assignments, or what
They
exactly
just
did
gave
they have
me
you do?
they gave me more time to complete the assignments. My teachers really liked me or whatever, so it was like, yeah, they gave me more time. And I got on it and finished it.
And was any of your close friends, was they going down the same path as you? Were they like struggling and then they got it back together as well?
Yeah, all my classmates or my friends, we'd be talking throughout the day. We'd be on the game, playing the game or whatever. And I'd be like, all right, I'm getting off, do my homework. And then, everybody, they gonna see one person making the right choice, so they gonna make the right choice too.
That's right. You said you was a leader, so I like that.
Yeah.
Dominique, I know you come from a strong family background. I know your mom very passionate about your education and stuff. Leading up to your ups and downs, your roller coasters all the way to the end. Now you come in ninth grade, kind of like trying to figure everything out. 10th grade, you're going through this roller coaster. You start rolling to 11th, 12th grade. Now you're in this final year, right? It's the closeout year. Time to walk across the stage. Walk the community through that process, man, and to the point where you announced to your family you was graduating and all the way up to that date. What was it like? Was it like a dream come true, or was you just like, I was supposed to did this? This is where I'm at. Tell me a little bit about that.
All my family, they told me high school is gonna go fast. I didn't really believe them until it was that time to start applying for colleges and making sure my grades are straight to graduate. So, it's really my whole senior year is applying to colleges, writing essays, applying for scholarships, and my mom helped me through all that really. And then I announced I'm going to Fresno State, and my cousin played football over there, so his dad was proud, and he was excited for me to go over there with him.
So did you get accepted?
Yeah, I got accepted to Fresno State.
All right, look at we got another Bulldog. Go Bulldog.
Hey.
Yeah, Bulldog. Do you know what you taking up? What you going to major in? Or are you trying to figure it out?
I'm a major in kinesiology, sports medicine.
Okay.
Wow, that's what's up.
Yes.
Hey, Fresno is a good place to learn that. They got a nice athletic program: football, baseball, basketball. So man, that is a great field to go into. A lot of people are starting to turn into that. Sports medicine is a big thing. I mean, they're using a lot of the sports medicine to help some of the physical therapy and things of that nature. So that's an industry that you'll always be working in. You'll be traveling if you get hooked up with the right team or something. You'll be traveling with them as well, man. So proud of you. Before the graduation day, I mean, what was that like with your mom and the family around? What was that like? Just getting dressed, putting on your ties, like getting ready. Like, what was that? What was that? I just I want to was you like, man, I did this? Like, what was that like?
Before I even I had to go pick up my cap and gown. I was excited doing that. I actually got in trouble going to pick up my cap and gown. I left class early and I got in trouble, but I was just excited to graduate, picking out my outfit, and then my graduation was the day after the black graduation at Kedar. So the whole black graduation, that was a dope thing that we did.
Yeah, I thought that was powerful, seeing the mayor, seeing Shaman out there, seeing just the community folks. It was very powerful. I always, that was my second year, attending and filming there. It's always important to me, and for community, just to uplift you all. Because we understand the challenges in the Black community that you all go through. We understand the obstacles that you all go through just on a normal day-to-day as young people. But just to add the pandemic on top of it, adding, the stress and things, the obstacles that we had to go through, and to see you all push through that, it was very amazing. And that's why we uplift you all and celebrate you all, because again, this is real work, and a lot of people outside of our community don't understand the things, the culture, what goes on, peer pressure. I wanted to ask you that, the peer pressure part. I know you're a leader, but just being around high school over the last 4 years, when we talk about peer pressure and the amount of influence, and I know you saw young folks make the wrong decisions, some made the bad straight, hanging out, cutting school, dropping out, the peer pressure of all that. How did it impact you, or if it didn't impact you, or how did you see it impact other people? Because I know when I was in school, I saw other people that was like doing stuff and they was like influenced by other people. They just like went that way. So how did, even though you're a leader, how did you see peer pressure amongst your peers? And like, how would you say that impacted the young folks at the level of interaction you had?
Um, I seen a lot of folks. I seen a lot of sports players turn into uh what called gangbangers or whatever they want to title themselves as. They just went the wrong way by who they look up to or who they hang around. Is peer pressure is a real thing in all communities and all levels of education, but I never let it affect me. It's people at school smoking weed or smoking these vapes in the bathroom or whatever. I just pay no mind to it. Keep my day going.
How you
Man,
stay so level headed with that to make the right decision? Who
I
taught you
just
that? What tools do you use?
I never wanted to do drugs or nothing. My family wouldn't even let me. They know I'm an athlete. They know I play sports all my life. They wouldn't even tolerate me trying. So I never really even thought about it.
Shout out to having that family support.
yes, that circle, man, that village is real.
Yes.
And I know it was people outside of the community that also was, supporting you and making sure you good. And that's why I always say, it takes a great village to really impact our young people. And that's why it's important to have so many different, community organizations and resources and things of that nature for the young people. But Dominique, we just want to say thank you again and congratulations for all your
Thank you
amazing
for
stuff
having
that
me.
you're doing in your journey. I'm gonna bring up Curtis and Amaya, and we're gonna ask y'all a couple more questions, and we're gonna let y'all go about y'all day. And then again, a gift from the DKI initiative, the Dreamkeeper initiative. We'll be sending you all a gift, and we're here to support you throughout this journey. But I'll bring up Curtis and Amaya back um, just to finalize. This show for you guys, the class of 2022. You all are doing some powerful, powerful stuff. And before I let you go, because one of the things is as we have community folks who'll be watching tonight, community folks be watching tomorrow, some of our East Coast folks, one of the things here at both sides of the conversation that we're trying to do, not only change the narrative, right, is we want to make sure that our young folks' voice is heard. And I just want to hear from all of y'all. I'm always talking about how do we bridge the gap with the young generation and the elders of the community. And I like to hear from y'all perspective, how do y'all feel about the elders, the leadership in our community? Do y'all feel like the elders, the pastors, the church leaders, the community leaders are just elders in your family? Do y'all feel that one, y'all get y'all voice heard from them? Do y'all feel like they support y'all? Because we're trying to always bridge that gap and change that narrative. And sometimes I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm with the young folk. A lot of times I'm in these meetings and I hear all these adults, these elders talking about the young folk. They don't want to listen. They're not consistent. They don't want to do the work. They just complain, right? So I just want to hear from y'all. We're always trying to pass the torch, move the community forward, and you all are the future, right? Y'all are the ones that's going to make that next change. I'm going to get older. Your parents are going to get older, right? And I would like to hear from y'all. Speak to the elders who are listening in the community. What do y'all need them to understand about y'all? Or how do we get to that point where they pass the torch? Because I hear the young folks saying, man, we go to events, the elders don't let us speak. They don't let us say nothing. They hogging the mic. So y'all tell us tonight, because they think I'm crazy, okay? But I know it happens. But I want to hear from the young folks. What do y'all feel when y'all deal with elders in your family, in the community, wherever it is? You don't have to say nobody's name. Do y'all feel like y'all voices are heard? Do y'all feel like y'all get the support? Or how do we bridge this gap between the young and the old? If anybody can start.
I would say, you could go.
Now you go.
Okay, so I would say that nowadays, well, even back in the day, kids were supposed to be is it seen and not heard? I don't know the saying that y'all say, but yeah, kids are not supposed to be are supposed to be seen and not heard. And so I just feel like since now, uh, the generation like would like parents just continue to say because when they was kids, their parents said it to them. So it's gonna always be like that because that's what you were taught. If you was taught a certain way, then you gonna teach that to your kids, really.
But I mean, do you think it's a respect
Right.
thing? Do you think it's a respect thing? Because I understand that model of like, hey, I'm an adult, I'm your parent, right? But I also believe that there's a change in our culture that happens, right? And I feel like young folks need to be heard more than ever now, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
think elders of the community need to understand that our young folks need respect too. When I work with young folks, they always say, "Hey, I hear you, you the older person, but also respect me." Do y'all feel like that as well?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
feel
for
like
the
it's
most
more
part.
respect needed from the elders for y'all?
What you say, Don?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, I feel like some like the elders like that's more close to age than others, like maybe like 30 years old or whatever. They basically grew up the same, or well, almost the same as we did. So I feel like they have more level of respect than grandparents or things of that nature.
What about you, brother Curtis?
I agree. In my family, I know for sure that my voice get heard. Is just sometimes that I would like not choose to say something, but I definitely do agree about what y'all saying now. That's what.
So how do we elevate y'all voice? I mean, how would y'all like to be a part of the change? When we talk about community, when we talk about politics, when we talk about moving our communities forward, how do you all feel that you need to be included? Or do you all feel like you want to be included? Because I know that y'all are a little different than um, the older generation. You know, a lot of the young people I work with, they tell me, John, I don't want to march no more. I don't want to protest. They want action. So how do y'all feel about like y'all position in the change of our community? Do y'all feel like the old ways are tiring to y'all, and y'all want them to accept the new way of like being more? I guess for the young folks is more um, boycottage in a sense because I think y'all movement is more boycotting than it is protest and marching.
Mm, I'll say I think. Wait, repeat your question again. Sorry.
No, I was saying the young people that you all the young folks, y'all approach to like social issues are different than like when Martin
Oh
Luther
yeah.
King them was there, right? Like the older generation are more like, hey, let's protest, let's march, stop the violence, right? And then the young folk that I'm encountering, they like, man, I don't want to march no more. Like I want action. Like I don't want to spend money.
Yeah.
Or they trying new ways to like deal with stuff. Is that y'all approach, or do y'all feel like the way the old folks are doing it and trying to push it on y'all, is that a disconnect when it comes to agreeing on how we move when we deal with social issues?
Yeah. Yes. Um. Social issues nowadays are totally different from back then. Yeah, they used to protest and stuff, but I feel like now, yeah, we've been protesting for so long. We do need like to see action. We need to see a difference because it's been years. We've been protesting for Black Lives Matter, social equality, and it hasn't been a change. So I feel like the government say they're gonna do one thing, but they don't at the same time, and so to see more progress.
Well, y'all have the mic, young folks. The elders are listening. What is it that y'all want to tell the elders of the community? Whether it's support you, what is it? Tell the elders. What do y'all need for them to do?
I feel like the elders try to take more control and not let the younger generation like come up with their own ideas of doing things. Like the older generation want to tell the younger generation how to do it, and not let it like not let us do it on our own, basically.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful. What about you, Curtis?
Yeah, nah, I definitely agree with what Maya said about the marching thing. I feel like it definitely should be more action, and because we have been marching for a long time, I've been seeing it all over the place, and they definitely should, like, our voices should definitely be heard by the old people, and they should give us a chance to, let our opinions be heard just a little bit at least.
I agree with y'all.
Especially the people on the Supreme Court. They need to remove some of them. They too old to be on there.
I agree with you. I am the first person to say there should not be lifetime federal judges. But my last question before I go, let's Tony have one, is this. Because I think this is why we have you all young folks here. And every time I get young folks here, I always try to get community to kind of walk in y'all shoes. As you all have seen over the last couple of months, there have been a number of police shootings that has taken place in the community that's impacted young Black African American women and men. Police aggression still towards y'all. As young people, how do y'all feel when y'all out in the community or when the police roll up on y'all? Like, honestly, like, how do y'all feel safe? Because there's a lot of things that's taking place, and I always want community to hear from our young people. Like, how do y'all really feel when y'all maneuvering in your day? You out in the community, you going to the gym, shopping, whatever. When it comes to the policing our young folks, policing our community, how do y'all really feel interacting, dealing with police, or when y'all see police? How do y'all really feel?
I feel like I haven't had a interaction with the police in my own community, but I usually like I'm driving around, maybe like say like South City or Daly City. It's more white people out there, so I'm more scared of those officers than the Bayview officers, because you see like a couple black officers in Bayview, but I haven't seen a black officer in South City or Daly City at all.
But Dominique, would you say that overall, like regardless of where you at, when it's police, because I think sometimes people don't understand the anxiety which y'all deal with. They think it's not real. Like, oh, it's not like that. I mean, like when you in those other places, South City, Daly City, like, do you feel like something inside of you? Like, man, I hope it don't be no problem. Like, what is that like? Because I think a lot of times the community, they just think sometimes that our young folks, they don't feel things. They don't think like this is a real issue. When you in those, even if you're not doing nothing, right? Just feeling like that presence. How does it make you feel? Like, do you really get that anxiety, or are you just like, I'm cool?
Nah, I'm for sure. I'm nervous around the police. Um, Anything could happen. They might pull you over just because what kind of car you driving or how you look or what you wearing. So yeah, I'm nervous when it comes around to the police.
Wow, yeah, deep. Curtis, you or Maya, go ahead.
You want to go? Or
You could go.
all right, so me around the police, I had a couple of experiences where like they mess with us at like malls or like I didn't like they came up to the car like if I'm driving with one of my friends or something, and they just come and bother us for no reason. And it's like when they come up, it's like I be praying that they don't be on no BS, because I ain't trying to. No, I didn't watch a lot of stuff happen, so it's like I'm not trying to deal with that, bro. So I definitely be a little nervous, but I be chill at the same time, because my mom done taught me a little stuff to do with what I'm saying, how to not get like how to avoid that stuff from happening, from you getting shot and stuff when you driving and stuff and police come up to you. But it definitely be like nervous. I definitely do be nervous though.
Wow, deep.
Yeah.
What about
So
you, Maya?
sorry.
I did get in. I did get pulled over one time. I was in Vallejo. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning. It was my mom's birthday, and she was getting her hair done, and I had to go put gas in the car. And I'm dramatic. When the light turned on the gas tank, I'd be thinking the car finna stop. So I was driving really slow. Anyways, but I still got pulled over. And the police pulled me over. Mind you, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I was asleep. My mom drove to Vallejo, so I was asleep in the car, and I didn't bring like my license or nothing with me. Like I didn't have nothing. because like I was asleep when she woke
Mhm.
me up. So I got pulled over and I was scared because I'm like, I'm going the speed limit. Like I was literally going the speed limit. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, what is he pulling me over for? And he said he pulled me over because my mom's tents was too dark and she didn't have a license plate. And I don't think that was true. Like you couldn't even see her tents because the window was rolled down. But I just felt like he just pulled me over because, like, when I look like a baby, so of course I'm gonna get pulled over all the time. Like, it don't look like I'm supposed to have my license. And so, yeah, I called my mom. I was scared. I was crying because I'm like, Mom, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't have my license or nothing. And I didn't know where none of her stuff was in her car. And so, yeah, it's just certain times, like, the police just be on tip for no reason. And you don't even be doing nothing. Like, I was really going the speed limit, too. And I got pulled over for no reason.
Wow. Very interesting stuff. Yeah, y'all definitely appreciate y'all giving that perspective for community. You know, a lot of times community don't understand like what you all go through as young folks. And you know, just great to hear from y'all. And we're gonna have more conversations from our young people because it's a lot of things going on that y'all need to talk about, and we want to give you all space and opportunity to uplift your voice. But for us tonight, it's celebration. Congratulations. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Y'all did y'all thing. This is what Black excellence look like, community. You know, for all of the
Mhm.
folks out there that says, you know, Black youth are not excelling in America. Here go a couple of our class of 2022 graduates that's going on to bigger and better things. We got more youth coming on this week on our live shows, our Sunday conversation. And for the next couple of weeks, as we continue to celebrate these young people, please get behind them and support them. And we're going to do our part to continue to support them. Tony, is there anything else you want to say before we let these graduates go on about their day? They've been held up all day.
Just proud of them and keep going. And just know that you have a family here. And if any resources or anything that you guys need, please reach out and keep being the leaders like you already are.
Definitely, definitely. And with that being said, before y'all go, y'all want to give any shout outs? This is y'all time. Y'all want to say thank you to moms, whatever y'all want to do. I'm going to give y'all a few minutes if y'all want to shout anybody out.
I just want to say thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Right
for
on.
sure.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well,
Yeah, thank y'all.
community, I appreciate y'all. Well, community, here goes some of our class of 2022 graduates. We have a number more coming. And because these magnificent folks are doing such a great job overcoming the odds, changing the narrative, today we have a gift for you all that you all will be getting, you know, courtesy of the Dreamkeeper Initiative. And we just want to say thank you all. Continue to do y'all work. Continue to lead by examples. You know, here, both sides of the conversation, we always say leadership is demonstrating what's possible. And that's what you all are doing, especially you, Dominique, taking the lead and stepping up. You, Curtis, and Amaya, that's what it's all about. Demonstrating what's possible, taking nothing, making something. Go down there to Fresno, do your thing, come back home. And we hope you'll be the next sports medicine doctor that'll help our community, especially with the technology changing. You know, we would love to see you in an office somewhere, man. And I'm just proud of you all. Amaya, down there at Hampton, do your thing. And
Breaking generational
yes,
curses.
yes. Go down there and do your thing. Make your mom and grandmother proud. Curtis, do your thing. Let us know when you start balling, man. We want to get out there and support you. And thank you all again for coming on. With that being said, community, before we end this show, thank you all for tuning in. We are still here. I know you guys are like, where's both sides of the conversation at? They ain't been on the air. We had a couple of weeks of like the Warriors, COVID, and a number of holidays. But we're getting back in our rhythm. We're going on the second half of the year, grind hard. If you all would like to see what's going on, go to our website and check us out. We got an event coming up for our young folks, July 16th. We're going to be taking a lot of youth up to Sacramento Raceway to watch drag racing. Again, we still have some slots available. If you have some young teenage folks that you want to get out the city for the day, reach out to us and we'll connect them. If you're a father and you're financially strapped, you've been doing stuff. We didn't celebrate Father's Day here at Both Sides of the Conversation. So what we're going to do is we're going to find you dads out there that want to take your kids out, get them out. We're going to cover your gas. We're going to cover your entry fee. We're going to cover your food. We're going to make sure that you have a good time with your young folks, because we want to make sure that Black families unite. We want to make sure that our Black dads matter, and we want to give them an opportunity to celebrate a day with their young folks, their young children, and take them out for an adventure, all paid for through Both Sides of the Conversation. So reach out to us and let us know. We got like 10 days left, so don't sit there and think twice about it. Reach out to us so that we can get you connected and make sure that you get your young folks up to the racetrack. It's going to be a great event, nice cars. It's going to be some great music. People are going to be out there having fun, and the cars are going to be going fast. Big event. So with that being said, to our next live show, hopefully on Thursday. We're trying to book this last Thursday conversation this week. If not, you'll see us Sunday. Okay, this Sunday, we'll have another class of 2022 graduates. We're going to have some college graduates, some phenomenal young folks that went through the high school process, went through college, and now they are graduating, coming back home to our communities to impact our community. So I'm looking forward to them this Sunday. And also stay tuned. We got a number of events that we're going to be a part of out in the community. I just received some more emails, some folks that want to get Both Sides of the Conversation to come out and support their event. So you guys are going to see us in the community. If you haven't signed up yet, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe. Okay, make sure you check us out. Anytime we go live in the community, you'll be able to see us. We'll be going live. Also, if you have an event, y'all want us to come out and capture some of the footage at your event with our drone, we'll bring the drone out. If you would like to have your 360 photos at your event, reach out to us. We'll bring our 360 booth out. If you would like us to come out, stream live, or go host at your event so community can see what your organization or your event is about, please reach out to us. Somebody will reach out to you and get you connected so that we can come support your event. You will see Both Sides of the Conversation all over the Bay. Over these next couple of months, we got a lot of things coming up, so stay tuned. You'll see us. With that being said, good evening. Be safe. Save water. I know they're still popping fireworks out there. Be safe. We don't want no home fires. And to our young people, continue to do the things that you all are doing. Climb the mountaintop. Make sure you cut the pathway for the next generation of young folks behind you. Class of 2022, you guys are phenomenal, amazing young folks. Looking forward to seeing you all soon. Check your emails. You got a gift coming for the amazing folks who are heading the Dreamkeeper and Both Sides of the Conversation in your email. We love y'all. Be safe out there, and we'll see y'all on the next live event.